Hey everybody, it's Triple J. Welcome back to another episode of Bountiful Bayou here in City Skylines. It's been a couple of weeks, but we are back now and looking to finally fill in some of this neighborhood. This neighborhood has been needing to be filled in for a couple episodes now. We have almost everything ready for it. We even added some of this fence and some of this walking path in here, so I think it is ready to be zoned. The only thing that I'm a little concerned about is that we don't really have a ton of demand currently for residential. We did talk about last time, we did add in this tile. So we did slightly talk about adding this industrial sector in here. I'm just not entirely sure how that looks just yet. Something that I do want to try as well in this episode is finally add an off-ramp for this connection here. Now, the way I'm picturing it is I was thinking of having it extend to this four-way intersection, but I think instead what I want to do is just sort of bring it down, possibly even before this bridge, or make this side not have the extension arms, just to give us a little bit longer of an approach, and then just sort of have it connect right about here, because realistically there's a three-way intersection that's being heavily used here and then one here, so there's really not a whole lot of intersection here. So I think it's totally fine to have another junction right in about here. And honestly, we could even do it right underneath the highway here, just to really kind of split those two intersections a little bit more. So why don't we go ahead and actually put that in, because I think what this might end up helping is because realistically, you know, we've been struggling with this for a while. I did do a little bit of traffic management to this that has helped. I've kind of been cheesing the AI a little bit and sort of forcing lane usage a little bit more. So now these people in this right-hand lane can only carry forward going straight, which then will force them either back onto the highway or to continue around and then start to use this intersection to get into the city. It's a little silly, but this is kind of how this was set up. Because the reason this is so backed up is that if you go left or straight, you can still access this part of the city. But if you go straight, there's really no other option except to get on the highway again or get on the highway again. So the only way to really access this huge part of the city, which definitely has a lot of commerce and things, is really just this road and then to turn left into here. So that's what makes this road so heavily trafficked. And that's just kind of the way that we've laid it out. So we could either do a couple things. We could either have another access point off of this road. I just don't know where it works right now. That would make a lot of sense. Or we could maybe see if an off ramp right here would help sort of balance the traffic coming in on either side. So let's try that. So let's see. I want to just actually test before we start to change the bridge too much. I kind of want to see if indeed let's make this straight if possible. Let's look about there. It's a little lower, but I think it's gonna be okay. So do something like that. And then I wanted to just have this dive underneath the road here. And I'm actually going to raise it so it stays bridged. Then I want to see how that's going to behave. Just a real simple connection. Nothing crazy. We'll flip this direction. And then let's kind of mess a little bit with it to make it look a little nicer. Get it a little bit like that. And we'll bring that down, and we should start to see cars hopefully using this fairly soon. It's going to take a little while, of course, for the AI to use it, but yeah, I don't know. We'll kind of put that there, and then we'll come back to it and sort of see if that's alleviated. However, some of this lane usage that I've done over here has really, really helped. All I've done really is essentially here, and you can take a look at some of the lines. But all I've done really is force this far left lane to carry straight. So if you want to go straight, you have to be in this left-hand lane. If you want to turn right, you have to be in either this middle lane or the far right lane. But if you're in the middle lane, only the middle lane is going to be able to turn left. So the far right lane has to go straight. So I'm trying to... You know, it would be very, very frustrating to be a driver at this point, because if you want to enter the city, not only can you not turn left here if you're in that far right lane and you happen to get off the highway, but you have to sort of make that decision. And unfortunately, I have forced these people who are coming off of the highway from this intersection to only carry on straight. So I think what that's doing is the traffic is saying, you know what, that's a terrible idea. I'm actually going to go a different way. And that has helped this traffic actually a little bit. Not a ton, but a little. But again, I would like to not have to do that. It's a little silly, but we'll see how this other off-ramp maybe adds to that a little bit. I don't necessarily want to change too much of what we have going on here, but I do want to try and make this better, because I really love how this is laid out. Arguably, the way that this is accessed is not ideal, and maybe we have to bite the bullet and, you know, create some sort of a connection point here or something of that sort, which, you know, could just be what ends up happening, right? I just bring a road through here, boom. Now we have more options. People can go straight or turn right to access this interior part of the downtown. But anyway, this has been, you know, a bane of our existence for like 15 episodes, so that's just the way it is right now. But okay, let's because what we could do actually to alleviate some of this demand is maybe make a little bit of a corner here that adds a little bit more of some of the offices. So I may want to bring... Yeah, let's do this. So let me add another road right about there. And this one's also not going to connect, but what that does is just give us a little bit more zoning space. So I'm going to zone this all as office. We'll kind of see how that gets pulled in right around the highway like that, and that should give us a little bit of bounce on some of that that industrial demand, perhaps. And then what I want to do over here is definitely add in a little bit of the commercial alongside here, because we have quite a bit of demand for that as well, all along here and all along there. And then the rest of this is going to just be sort of low density. Now, one thing we don't have in here is I don't think I've done all of the sort of services. It seems, what is this over here? Oh, that's the community pool. Got it. Okay. We don't really have a clinic in this area just yet. So I think what I'd like to do is put a clinic there. Let's get a crematorium. Right on that. Kind of using this to hide some of these services. It looks like fire coverage is actually pretty good. We do have a large fire station right there, so I feel pretty good about not having it there. And then police is also good. We also have another giant police headquarters right there. So that's all right. We are going to want some more education. We do have a community school there, but I think we're going to want another one in this neighborhood. So let me put down one of these. Let's put it... Yeah, let's put, like, right in here, but then I think I want to slide it over like that. And then a high school. Let's kind of put the high school just right next to it. Sort of a combined situation. And then I think behind here, let's do a basketball court and a tennis court. And again, I'm going to slide these over just a bit. Give myself a little room. Awesome. And then I think a path right through here. Let's move that over a little bit. Okay. Very nice. Perhaps a small park. That can fit in there nicely. Cool. All right. Awesome. So now let's do one dog park right in this area. Just gonna sort of tip it this way a little. Cool. Awesome. And then let's just here, I'm actually gonna put a couple corner shops in as well. Just tiny little bits of commercial that would be, you know, sort of like a convenience mart on the end, that kind of thing. Yeah, it still feels like it might want one more bigger park. So let's put down like a playground right in here. And that totally works for me. Great. Let's start zoning some of this. Punching up some more population. Feels like another, I don't know, building, or perhaps what fits in here is the library. This library right on this edge here. And then also, where's that little, it's not a courthouse, this thing, this tax office. Yeah, what if that, yeah, yes and no. I'm not really sure how I feel about it, but I think that could work. So let's put this path through there. Yeah. Okay. And then I think also on this side, let's do a little bit more of the commercial. Right there. How is this working? So look at this. We've only displaced the problem. Now, arguably, we can make this better, but, you know, I went over here and was like, oh my gosh, that's amazing. Look how clear this is. This is great. Well, we've only just moved it, right? And that happens a lot. That can be very, very frustrating when you just don't know how to solve an issue, but there is always a solve. Sometimes it just takes a little longer, sometimes it doesn't. This is a great opportunity, though, of just, you know, clearly the city has an issue, right? And we kind of know what that issue is. There's just not a lot of access points that make a lot of sense. And this is also a light. We could certainly do sort of a situation like this, where we have it come off and they can only go right, perhaps, or just, you know, create another stretch where this goes over the side. Actually, this would be a great spot for that, I think. At first I was like, let's see what it might be as a light. Yeah, you know, a single lane as a light. You know, there's many things we could do. We could make this a double lane, a right turn only and a left turn only lane. That would certainly split some of the traffic. That would help. But I think in this case, what kind of would be cool, and considering we do have the space, let's do this. We're going to make this a two-way. Okay, sort of like that, maybe. And then these... Actually, here, I'm going to redo this in general. So let me snag that-ish. Like that. And then I'm going to try to put this next to it. And then we're going to try to connect this up. We're obviously going to have to mess with this a bunch. You know, the heights are all goofy. But right now, I want this to get... Oops. I want this to get carried over... We're going to have to probably destroy this bike path. Yeah, let's just destroy a piece of this. Let's remember to try and put this back in, though. Might also help to work backwards in this situation. That pillar's in my way, but... The other thing we can do... is just get rid of this for a second. I'm pretty sure I must have moved that pillar. So I want about here. Okay. And let's just kill that. We're gonna have to bring this back. A little bit of a makeover here. But what I want to do... Yeah, that's the... It's telling me it's an invalid shape. So I may need to go like that. Trying to find that line. Where's my 180 there? Come on. There it is. But that's not 75. Yeah, that... Oh, not quite. Not quite. This might need to stretch over a little bit more. There's actually a new mod that's sort of in beta right now called it's called the Network Multi-Tool. Actually, that's pretty good. I will completely take that. Called the Network Multi-Tool, and it really can make some of these shapes. Perhaps maybe I'll add it to a later episode and we can kind of play around with it. But it's a really, really cool mod that I've kind of just discovered. And it's really, really cool because it can sort of make those shapes. It can make those connection points for you and create that perfect shape, or give you sort of like a spiral, or I kind of do different shapes to connect two road segments together in sort of a perfect-ish way. And it's really, really powerful. So maybe we look at that in the future. Okay. So I'm happy with that. Obviously, we need to adjust the heights and then reconnect everything. But that is good for now. So let me make this connection point. And so this will be going right. And then these will go left. So I'm going to have to bring this road back. I kind of did this in a really, really sloppy, terrible way. But, you know, It's okay, as long as it looks right in the end. No, let's see. Can I go straight here? And then curve. Like that? Yeah, it's not the cleanest, but it's also going to be sort of under the highway and connected to stuff, so I'm totally okay with it. Okay. And then this is going to carry on like that. That's not connected at all. I think there's something goofy going on with one of my mods right now. Something doesn't feel quite right. Like that's not. So that's connected, but this isn't. Yeah. Sometimes there's a mod that I'm using that doesn't necessarily. There we go. May have to restart, but we'll see if we can get through this. Okay, so what I want to do is this, but I want to curve it a little bit more. Just this shape, so that those people can just slide right in. Okay. Awesome. Now, I think I'm going to reconnect the highway. Yeah, see how that didn't connect there? It's like not snapping to the nodes properly. There we go. Which can happen sometimes. There we go. Okay, so that's reset. Change the direction on this. So that's going to go into there to the right, and that will go to the left. Now let's adjust these heights so they don't look stupid. Raise that up. And this is going to have to jump down pretty significantly. But actually, not terrible. All things considered. Okay. This, we're going to have to actually keep raised pretty high. So I'm just going to grab all these nodes. Raise these together. About there. And then this one can start to dive. And that feels totally acceptable to me. Obviously, this pillar needs to move. And we're going to get rid of the lights, obviously, and make sure they don't actually turn left there. And now, if we hit play, they're still going to turn left there. But, there we go. And there we go. And then we have to get rid of the lights as well. There we are. See, now we're getting a lot of traffic trying to turn left in here because there's really nowhere to go straight. There's not going to be a lot of people trying to go straight here. And so this is a light, right? So we may need to adjust a little bit of this as well, or just force them to not, or just force this to not be a light over there, which is totally another thing we could do as well. Because we're still going to have this backup right now. Yeah, and they're all kind of doing this goofy thing. So we can say that if you're turning right, you can go. I mean, ideally, they go into the right lane and then they merge in a very, very nice, beautiful way over to here to turn left. That's just not the case. Because they all... Honestly, this is probably the best place for them to merge. And so then we can do this. This. So we're forcing them to say, you can't, once you're in this lane, you're locked in. Okay, so this can turn left. Left only. Maybe? That's left only. This is left straight. And this is also straight. And then in here, you can go left. And this is going to go straight or right. Just to force people further into that. Just to make sure that we get more people using this right-hand lane, the center lane, rather than just the far left. And I think that's probably our best bet at this point. 2-lane usage here. We could also make this a 3-lane road in here, but I don't know if that's necessary. But yeah, really good lane usage right now, generally speaking. You know, full strip here, but they're all the way they're getting through the entirety of the light. You know, there's definitely still some backup, but it's not backing up onto the highway anymore. This is a lot more clean. It's very heavily used. This is a lot better. In fact, we almost have nobody using this now. So I'm wondering, this became more of a traffic episode than I anticipated, but that's how it always goes. So I'm kind of wondering if I say now you can use that lane, because me taking away that opportunity really just killed this interchange. Like, not a lot of people were using it because of that, because I'm forced, because of my forced, you know, decision to say you can only turn. But now I'm giving you the opportunity to turn left, so we'll see. But, you know, right here, all 3 lanes being used, which is great. So we'll see if we get more people using it now. But I think that has split the traffic quite nicely. It's given them a better opportunity. This intersection has gotten better. Yeah. And we've only brought more people in. So that feels pretty good, I think. Okay, I'm going to do a strip of commercial, I think, right here and then here as well, because it kind of feels like they're on this main road, but they're not. And then let's just add some more folks in here. Do a little commercial hub right in here as well. We have just a lot of demand for it. And then let's fill that in. And that as well. It's a lot of zoning, but I think it'll be good. We could maybe put another building of some sorts. Maybe another park or plaza, perhaps. Maybe like the fountain is nice. This friendly neighborhood park thing. I do like this asset. It's very versatile. You know, just curve it up, something like that. And then zone that in there. And then I won't zone anything here, I think. Let's do something like that. Just add a few trees. Cool. Maybe another opportunity, since this is sort of just this tiny little sliver and we have this like tax office here. I think we could just do some more commercial right there. Makes sense to me. But yeah, we're gonna need more offices. I think that works really nicely actually in this little corridor here. This could be a little bit more inspired. I anticipate, I think we also maybe talked about this. I think this road is going to carry through and do something once we unlock this tile. This is also going to move. But yeah. Awesome. Well, everybody, that's going to do it for me. Thank you all so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. This is coming together. I feel pretty good about this so far. This neighborhood, once it's all filled in. And then I think next time, I think we're going to have to start pushing this direction. And see if we can't figure out a way to put down some, I don't know, some sort of industrial area. Some large sweeping industrial area. And also perhaps look at how we might want to bring that interstate through here to connect up to this via some sort of a road, because I think we're gonna have some more people over here as well. So we're gonna have to look into that. But everybody, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it, and I look forward to seeing you in the next episode of Bountiful Bayou here in City Skylines. Bye, everybody.